Looks like we are just about ready to go. How are we feeling, everyone? Ready to roll?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Q3 webinar, Powerful New Features and Possibilities with Kudoboard. I am Ty Davidson, Content Manager here at Kudoboard, and I'm excited to be leading you all through this journey, through some of our spectacular and, in my opinion, game-changing new offerings on the employee recognition platform. I'll be acting as our MC today, working alongside our presenters from the success and support teams here, Amy, Julio, and Galena. Today, at a high level, we're going to be taking a deep dive into some exciting new enterprise features that just launched on the Kudoboard platform. We're going to showcase some fun posting capabilities for contributors, and we're going to offer a chance for you to ask your burning questions in an interactive QA with the product experts that we have on this call right now. But before we get into that, I would like to introduce myself as well as my co-hosts here. We'll start with names and a quick little icebreaker question. What is your favorite hot weather or summer activity? Some of you probably don't want to talk much about the hot weather, judging by some of the things we're seeing in the QA right now. Um, but as I said, my name is Ty Davidson. I'm a content manager here at Kudoboard. I head up our thought leadership work on the blog, and you may remember me from our last webinar as well, covering the Employee Happiness Trends Report. My favorite hot weather activity has to be a beach day. I live about 10 minutes from the beach here in San Luis Obispo, California. So it's great to load up the car, hang out with some friends, and enjoy a little unplugged time in the surf. Let's move on down the line, and I'll pass the mic over to Amy.
Thanks, Ty. Hello, everyone. My name is Amy. I'm the lead support specialist here at Kudoboard. So when you send an email to help@kudoboard.com, you might get lucky and get me to help you out, but we will take any of your general questions about how to use the product, what version of the product might be the best for you, pricing, technical issues, all of that. You can send to help@kudoboard.com. And again, I might be the lucky one that gets to assist you. For me, my colleagues know I'm not the biggest fan of hot weather, which might be, gasped to some of you. I'm much more of a fall gal myself. So I do like the outdoors though. Anytime I can go outside and get hiking or kayaking, anything like that, that's definitely my ideal summer day. I'll pass it off to Julio.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julio Gonzalez. I work on the customer success team here at Kudoboard, working with our enterprise customers to make sure that they're utilizing their plan to the best of their abilities and educating people on features and just making sure they're getting the most out of their enterprise plan. I live in Minneapolis, and it's pretty cold here, like 4 months out of the year at least. So I love the hot weather when summer and spring are here. My favorite hot weather activities are to go biking. I live about 10 minutes from my local trailhead. So road biking and mountain biking I really enjoy. If you're from Minnesota, let me know in the chat. And off to you, Galena.
Awesome. Hey everyone, thanks for being here today. My name is Galena. I am also a customer success manager, so maybe there are some of you here, I anticipate there are, that I have even communicated with in the past, so hello. I live in Washington State, and my summer hot weather activity would be swimming. I live close to a river. And I will admit here in front of all of you that I do still like to bring my goggles sometimes so I can see everything underneath the surface. All right, Ty, back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, all. Appreciate it. So just a quick call out here. This webinar will be recorded, so you'll be able to easily find it again and access it from our blog. We'll send the link out and a link to the deck as well once it's uploaded and published for you. Also noting that the chat is disabled, it looks like, but we do have our QA open, so feel free to drop any comments, thoughts, feedback, anything in there throughout this webinar. We'll be keeping an eye on it and answering questions throughout. Also, another bit of housekeeping, we'll be giving out 3 $50 gift cards at the end of this presentation to some lucky random visitors here, viewers here. All you need to do is stay until the end and we'll pick those names at random. So again, just stay until the end and you'll have an opportunity to win one of 3 $50 gift cards. So for today's agenda, we'll be spending a few minutes leading in with Elevate by Kudoboard. We'll spend a bulk of our time together talking about some new enterprise features, show off some fun board posting options that have just launched on the platform, and then we'll leave a bit of time at the end for a QA as well. So before we start talking about these new features, though, let's talk about the subscription where many of them live, which is Elevate by Kudoboard. Now we know that many of you attending the webinar are already on some level of the subscription plan, either business or our newly launched pro plan or enterprise. You're already using the unlimited boards and posts to celebrate and recognize milestones and moments. And you're probably enjoying some of the admin benefits as well. You know, it's a great way to really increase employee happiness and build some momentum behind your recognition. If you're an admin, you're probably also seeing some great internal usage from your teams and likely some strong results. I know our customer success agents, Julio, Galena, and more, they hear it all the time from our subscribers. Increased retention rates, better scores on Culture Amp surveys, more team cohesion. We love all the success stories, so keep them coming. But while these data points are great, I want to focus on something that's just as important. One of the things that we hear even more frequently is that the Kudoboard platform is just so fun to use. And we think that the people contributing to the boards have almost as good of a time as the recipients receiving them. So what do you think in the Q&A? I'd love to hear it. Do you have more fun getting a board or receiving one? Let me know. Seeing a lot of yeses. Oh, giving. Like both, creating, both. Receiving, giving. Boy, seeing a lot of both. And that's great. That's exactly what we think. We think that they are always a blast. And we always hear, though, that the fun starts to build momentum once there's an Elevate plan, bringing more opportunities to celebrate. It's almost like there's a viral element to these company connections and increasing employee happiness, mainly because both giving and receiving the boards is so flat out engaging and really authentic. And that's why we've invested in creating these new Kudoboard features to increase the engagement of a platform in a way that goes beyond just a single group card, you know? Many of us have received and contributed to a one-off group card for a birthday or a work anniversary or a farewell or a congrats or welcome or shout out. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And some of us are still purchasing a one-off every time, and that's great. But what if these boards were unlimited? What if these engagement opportunities were created automatically? What if we knew who signed cards the most? What if they were customized for your brand? And what if there were other creative ways to contribute? And then how do we wrap all of that in a user-friendly, modern recognition platform? So the answer to those questions came with these new platform features, many of which were inspired by some of you on the call here. And with features like these making appreciation accessible and frequent, there's no need for points or rewards because authentic recognition doesn't come with a dollar amount attached. Instead of Chuck E. Cheese tickets that like employees can exchange for prizes, we want your teams to have more meaningful experiences with their coworkers and peers. But also, don't forget, we didn't forget about the one-off boards either. There's still some new features that we built to make these more fun and engaging as well. So just hold on and see. But all of your Elevate subscriptions make the employee recognition more fun, engaging, and authentic. Plus, it's built with businesses in mind. With Elevate, Kudoboard can become a much larger part of an employee experience. You know, think about attaching a Kudoboard to job offers or welcoming new team members or celebrating team accomplishments or sending boards to prospective customers from sales teams, supporting events in your internal culture initiatives. Not to mention there's also like one-on-one shout outs, employee awards, and more. Now, there's a lot of features that you can see here that are spread out across our different plans, you know, business, pro, enterprise. So you'll want to check out our pricing page for more details. We'll drop a link in the chat in case you want to check it out. And if you're on Elevate and you see a feature that you're not getting, it might be on our newly launched pro plan or our subscription, our enterprise plan. But that's enough about all of our subscriptions. Without further ado, let's get into these new features that are available to you right now, starting with some of these newly launched features in the pro and enterprise plans. Now, what's super exciting again about these is that they're currently live in the software as we speak. So we're going to talk about them, and then we're going to go into a live demo. So you may want to have your admin screen up to follow along. First up, we have our long-awaited, often requested automations feature. And I will pass the mic over to Julio so he can take us through it. Over to you, Julio.
Awesome. Thank you, Ty. Can you all see my screen? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. As Ty mentioned, this is already live on our pro plans, on our enterprise plans. So if you haven't set this up, you know, feel free to take a second to pull up your admin panel and go to automations here. And, you know, go along with me as I review this and maybe even set it up as well. But this is the automations page. We are super stoked about this plan. We think it's going to be really great to help save you all time in creating boards. So we have 2 automations that have been released, birthdays and workplace anniversaries. And this new feature allows boards to be automatically created for employees' birthdays and workplace anniversaries. And you can have them created 7 days or 2 weeks or a month before those specific dates. Quick thing to note here is that you'll plug in the data for the employees' birthdays and workplace anniversaries just right here on the users page. So if you'll notice here, if you haven't set it up, you might want to just click show details. And then here's where you'll see the fields that have been added, which include birthday, work start date, and you can also include the manager here. So you can assign those boards to your manager. Yeah, it's just a great feature. One thing to note here is that you can always just download a CSV of the fields you already have there in case you want to upload data that way, and then just upload it anew. So it might be a little faster that way to add this employee data. So once that information is all added, we'll go back here to the automations feature. There's 2 options here. There's birthdays and workplace anniversaries. Once you toggle it on, then the automation is live and boards will start to be automatically created. We'll go ahead and go to the settings for the automation itself. Here you'll see just kind of a high level how the settings for the automation when it's set up. So you'll see who's the board owner. Now, for many of you in large organizations, you may want to set it as the manager since they're just, more in touch with the employee. Once the board's created, they can start inviting their, immediate team to add content to that specific board. But, if in case you do want to assign it to yourself or to another potential admin on your team, you can absolutely do that as well. Here you'll see, what's the number of users that are included in this automation. And perhaps, if you want to exclude someone, let's say, like, oh, John doesn't, really enjoy having his birthday celebrated, but he loves his workplace anniversary celebrated. You can always add their name on here and exclude them from this specific automation. Here you'll see, when do you want the board created? 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks before that person's birthday or workplace anniversary. Many people will choose 1 or 2 just because it adds a little more sense of urgency to add content to the boards that are created. And when do you want the board delivered? Do you want it, in the afternoon, in the morning, in the evening, right when work ends? You can choose your time zone, of course. And just quick note, this can always be changed on the individual board level in case, you have offices around the world and you want the board delivered at a different time zone. The designated board creator, the person that this board is assigned to, will be able to change that on the board level itself. Notifications, this will let people know, when the board is created, the week or the 2 weeks or the month before the person's birthday. It'll send them an email letting them know, hey, board's being created for your employee. If content hasn't been added yet, this sends an email letting them know, hey, make sure to invite your teammates, add content to this board. And then when the board is delivered to the employee, they'll get a delivery email, of course. One thing to note on here is that you can make it so boards aren't delivered unless they meet a certain threshold for number of posts. But this, I definitely encourage you all to enable if you are adding multiple posts to these boards. In case, let's say potentially a manager is on vacation when the board's created, you wouldn't want a board with, 1 post or less going out to that employee. So certainly recommend enabling this and setting a threshold on here for number of posts before it's delivered. And then once you review this, you make sure, hey, I'm happy with the settings on the whole. You can go ahead and customize your template for the actual board itself. So go ahead and click Customize Template. Here you'll see that you can add posts on here that will go on every board. You'll see we here at Kudoboard really like minions and dancing. You can customize the title. So I'll say, happy birthday, employee, first name, last name. Let's say you just want to keep it to first name. You could always remove this if you wish. Here you'll see board backgrounds. You can randomize them from however many you select. There's hundreds of backgrounds to choose from on here. So if you click here, you'll see all the patterns, illustrations. And if you go to themes specifically, you'll see the birthday related themes. So you can go on here, be like, oh, I forgot the dinosaur theme. Let me add that one. But if you do want to customize the default board background for all of them, you can certainly do that. Go on here, select your default background. Everyone at your company loves tacos. I'll make this one the background. And on here as well, you'll see there's custom backgrounds as well that you can add in case you do want to add some that are specific to your branding. Here's where you can add posts to the board. Just quick note, as I mentioned, this will go out on all the boards that are created part of the automation. So you would probably want to keep it somewhat general, and make it from the company, or maybe you want to include a message from your leadership team on here. But it will be included in all the boards being created and so it will be for every employee that's part of this automation. And then we'll quickly jump into advanced settings on here. Now, you can add additional board admins to these boards if you want to change it from the manager that's being assigned, for example. You can decide if you want new posts to show at the top or at the bottom. If you would like, you can also make sure that confetti is enabled, so when it's delivered to the recipient, they get confetti. So yeah, just lots of small features on here that you can enable, likes and comments. But you can always, as the assigned creator, when the boards are created, change these as well in case you want to change it up. We'll click save, and then the changes will be saved. And we'll go ahead and go back here. And you'll see there's also the workplace anniversary one, very similar to the birthday one. But if you want to, you can customize intervals. So let's say, maybe you don't want every anniversary celebrate, but you want the big milestone ones, 1, 5, 10. You can go ahead and click that, apply it, and then create those automations for those specific milestone anniversaries. This is really helpful in case you do want to add some messaging on these boards, add a post to them that are specific for that. So if you want to make sure, oh, for the 5-year, I want a message from our CEO on these boards that are automatically created, you can add it on here when you go through the template setup. So yeah, we think that this is going to be very helpful for all of you. It was definitely something that was driven by our customers who wanted to save time and not have to create boards, every month or week, or use the bulk create feature to create boards for birthdays on the whole. So we're really excited for this feature.
Awesome. Thank you, Julio. Yeah, I'm just getting caught up here in the QA. It looks like there's a lot of excitement around that. Yeah, if we haven't answered your question yet, we're still getting around to it. Appreciate you all, Galena, Amy, for answering those questions in chat. Thank you. So again, automations are amazing, saving you time creating birthdays and work anniversaries. Currently, it's just available for birthdays and work anniversaries, but we could expand that in the future. Might have an opportunity to talk about that during the QA. And then there's also the templatizing alone. That's a game changer no matter your team size. So again, that's available on Pro and Enterprise currently. Moving on, we're also excited to announce the introduction of advanced analytics, which is a step up from our current basic analytics options. So back over to you, Julio, to talk about this exciting new feature.
Awesome. Thank you, Ty. Great. Can you all see my screen again? Okay, wonderful. Great. So analytics, you'll see right below automations, you'll see the new tab on here. So right here, you'll see there's overview, board activity, user activity, thank yous, and gifting. For anyone that's a part of a business or enterprise or pro plan, you'll have access to overview and board activity. User activity, thank yous, and gifting are specific for pro and enterprise. For overview, this is where you'll see a large visualization of what's happening on your plan. So you can see week over week, what are the number of boards being created, number of posts, likes and comments on those posts. You can see usage types. So what are the types of boards being created? Milestone boards or special occasions, celebrating an individual, maybe for someone's birthday or anniversary or a welcome to the team. Shout outs, more so the peer-to-peer recognition, where folks are tagging one another, thanking each other for the small things everyone does for each other every day. And event focused boards, maybe for something like Pride Month or 4th of July or upcoming National Intern Day. So you'll be able to see a breakdown of the types of boards being created. And you can always export this data as well if you want to see maybe like year over year, how have things changed from this quarter 2024 to last quarter 2023? Have we seen an influx in event type boards or shout out boards? Here you'll see the total number of users week over week, in case you want to see like, oh, have the new employees who have come on to the company, have they signed up for Kudoboard yet? And of course, you can export that data as well. For special occasions, this is where you'll see the specific kinds of boards being created. What are we celebrating? Birthdays, congratulations, farewells, new babies, work anniversaries, etc. This is where you can get a small view of like when thank yous being sent from recipients when they receive the board. So when someone receives a board, they have an option to email contributors. You'll be able to see thank yous being sent on here. Here you'll see hashtags. Gillian will touch a little bit more on this later. But if you do have core values for your organization, you can see the values being utilized on here. You can, of course, export that data. And here you'll be able to see top boards being created. This is really helpful, especially, many of us are part of large organizations. And, potentially the finance team has created a board that is specific for them. And you as admins want to see what are the boards being created that, I may not be a part of, but are being created on the whole for the organization. And you'll be able to see top boards on here. So, there's hyperlinks. You can always click these and you can see, oh, like, what's this board about? Oh, we're adventuring around town. You'll see the Kudoboard dogs here. You'll see Archie, my dog, right here being carried up some stairs. If you've ever had to carry your dog on a hike, let me know in the chat. Right, wonderful. So that is an overview of the Overview tab. On board activity, this is where you'll see just on the whole, like what are the boards being created? Who are the creators? The recipients of these boards? Yeah, this is just a large overview of the number of boards created. Again, you can always export this data in case you do want to compare, quarter over quarter, year over year, to see how have things changed with your plan, how much usage is your plan getting, what types of boards are being created. User activity, this is where you'll see, who are the power users within your organization, who are your Kudoboard advocates. And again, many of us, we're part of large organizations, so you may not have, you may not be commonly seeing what's on the dashboard that everyone's creating. This is a great place to see on the whole, like who are the top creators, how many boards are they receiving, etc. Thank yous. This is my favorite new tab on the analytics page here. When a recipient sends a thank you via email, you only see it, of course, if you're contributed to that board. So for all of us as admins, for boards we're not a part of necessarily, maybe they're part of a different team, right? We can see the thank yous being here and just see the sincere appreciation that people have for when they receive these boards and are sending a message to their colleagues, thanking them for the board and their messages. And gifting, if you all send gift cards for different occasions, this is where you'll see the gift cards, the board it's tied to, the amount in the gift card. For example, like, you may want to send, or you may send X amount for someone's workplace anniversary, but maybe someone just had a baby like Ty, and you'll send them more, so they can buy some diapers and toys. So yeah, that is a large overview of the analytics tab. And if you all ever have any questions about automations or analytics, feel free to reach out to us at success@kudoboard.com. Happy to meet one-on-one anytime to go over these options.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Julio. Yeah, as Julio said, it's great to have those metrics so you can make those data-driven decisions and really get to know how your team is using the platform. This gives you the ability to compare data quarter over quarter and year over year, so you can make smart choices on where to invest your recognition and spend your time wisely. Moving on to something that's a little more fun for both admins and board contributors, we're proud to announce the launch of the Brand Asset Library. We have Galena covering this feature that is available on Pro and Up. Over to you, Galena.
Great. Thanks, Ty. So, all right. I have got my screen lined up to share, but first I want to ask a question, which will require you to think, so not to be an elementary school teacher, but put your thinking caps on. This is a question regarding brand affinity. So first, take your time to think about what brand affinity is. And now I ask you to think about within your organizations, how do you create brand affinity? How do people feel pride in where they work, and how are you fostering that pride within your employee base? You can put your answers in the Q&A. I know it's not a question, but we'd love to see some of your responses to this. I'll give you some starters. I'm talking swag, backpacks are big, sweatshirts, stickers. I love a sticker. Any ideas here? The mission of the company? Yes, exactly. The mission is definitely important to making people feel connected. Welcome kits, awesome, thank you. Let's see, brand values, employee appreciation days, living our values, swag. Yes, all of these ideas are great. Thank you for sharing. So the reason I start here with this discussion is because this brand asset library really gets at building out, expanding brand affinity, both within your organizations on the internal landscape and externally to your organizations. So I will share my screen and show you what exactly I mean. In your admin panel, if you're on one of these plans, which I know many of you are on one of these subscription plans, if you have access to this now, I encourage you to go in and look. If you're not, don't worry about it. Just maybe pay attention to what's going on and then look to, think if this could be applicable to you later. So in your admin panel, you will go to your admin panel and then your brand assets tab, specifically this media tab. You are able to upload different assets, including images and GIFs from your organization so that people, users across your site can utilize them in posts that they add. So why is that impactful? Well, let me show you an example. So already on this board, this healthcare organization, we see users utilizing those brand assets related to that organization's core values in their posts. But let's see how this happens live as well. So let's imagine that, someone went on parental leave, and as a result of their going on parental leave, their coworker was kind of forced to pick up some slack, and we're happy for the parent, go parents. But the person still in the role was thinking, oh no, I'm really stressed out. I don't know what to do. And then, fear not, more colleagues from this healthcare organization stepped in and helped this colleague that was remaining. So this colleague is feeling super grateful. They want to thank that whole, let's say, nursing team for assisting them while their colleague was out. So this is the post that demonstrates that, thank you so much, nursing team. You have meant X, Y, and Z to me. And they're feeling really passionate about this. They really want to share their authentic thanks. So then they go to, add image. And let's say they want to go to this picture library and they're thanking the nursing team. So they, search for a nursing image and they're like, all right, I mean, yeah, sure, like this is nursing stuff, but I want it to pertain to our organization. So in that case, maybe you could use the brand image library where I could apply this nursing logo to this post because we know that at this organization, this is the logo of the nursing team, which fits perfectly with the post itself. So at that point, I would go ahead and post this to the board. And voila, there it is. But how else? So I mentioned that external use case as well. So let's dive into a couple of those examples. Let's say that you want to thank some sort of partnership that you have with a customer or with a vendor or with some sort of collaborator that you work with. You can potentially have your creative team develop assets to put within your brand asset library, where then you can send to those different partners you have collaborated with throughout the year to acknowledge them and tighten those ties. Lastly, think that you are, imagine that you are at a conference. So like, I know our organization was just at the SHRM conference. So you're at this big event building. There are people walking all over, but a lot of them don't want to stop and talk to you specifically. They kind of skirt by your booth, maybe. But how else can you reach those people and educate them on what your brand is as they're walking by? Well, maybe you have a slideshow playing that has some of you, your brand, represented while it's playing. So even if people pass you by, they can still learn a bit about who you are, whether that be core value related, or let's see, let's go ahead and skip to the fun one, or if it's a little bit of personality that you show as well. So that's it for the brand asset examples.
Excellent. Thank you, Galena. Yeah, brand, I get really excited about the possibilities of the brand asset library. I mean, just imagine your creative team making all these fun on-brand assets and then seeing your boards just full of them, or like great fun GIFs that really speak to your company culture. Yeah, I've seen a lot of activity in the Q&A. We'll keep answering those as we can. So keep on dropping your comments in there, please. Next up, we have a new feature that's available on all of our subscription plans, which is company values hashtags. And we'll be passing the mic back over to Galena to talk about that.
All right, great. Hello again. Okay, so again, I want to start with a question, which is, I know some of you have already shared when we previously spoke about developing that brand affinity. Some of you mentioned values, some of you mentioned mission. So I know probably this applies to a lot of you, but how many of you who here has core values established within their organization? You can, send a couple of these in the Q&A or just kind of nod to yourself and I'll feel it from here. Okay, so now that we've established that, I want to go a level deeper as well. And now ask you, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, oh yeah, we are big on core values. We talk about them daily. We use them in our review process. And 1 being, what core values? Or those are silly, or that's just a poster on the wall. I never even look at that. So where are you on a scale of 1 to 10 in connectedness to your core values? And then if you can, how connected are your employees to those core values, outside of yourself, but your actual employee base? Let me open it. Whoa, 10, holy smokes. All right, 9, 8. Whoa, we're getting some high scores here. 7, 9 to 10. Great. I like how on a bad day it's 9, but on a 10 day, a good day, it's 10. That's like, okay, great. Thank you for participating, everyone. You all have super high scores and I'm proud of that. For you. So on Kudoboard, you are now able to, and as Ty mentioned, this is the subscription plan that many of you are already on. So go in and add your core values. I'll show you where you can do that. In your admin panel, again, we're talking heavily about the admin panel. In the settings area of your admin panel, all the way down at the bottom, you are able to add your core values to your site. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is that you are creating more opportunities for your employees to interact with those core values, to recognize each other for embodying those core values, just creating more touch points to make them more prominent within your organization. Because I know a lot of us have probably had the experience where it feels a little authentic to have core values because you feel so disconnected from them. So in this case, you have more opportunity to become connected with those core values. So you'll see some of those values represented as hashtags already on the board. Let's go ahead and add a post so you can see how this operates in real time as well. So another like imaginary tale, let's say that I am working in a tech organization and my colleague Jalen has been doing so well lately. I've noticed that Jalen is adaptable. She is agile. She is helping me when I need help. She is teaching me. She is admitting when she doesn't know, and we are finding the answer together. So I want to give Jalen some acknowledgement that she is doing incredible. And I'm going to post that here, my message of appreciation for her. And then I'm going to enter that hashtag sign. And specifically, I've noticed that Jalen is being super adaptable. So adaptability is one of our core values represented here. Now add a GIF just for fun. Let's say a word that comes to mind for me with adaptability is parkour. So let's go ahead and add a parkour GIF. And then I'll post this message to the board. So now you have the ability to see which values are actually being personified, are actually being lived out in your organization. You can click on any of these values to filter by that specific value on that given board. But as Julio earlier mentioned, in your analytics tab, there's also the opportunity to see what the most used hashtags are. And not only that, what the most used hashtags are over time. So you can compare where your culture was in accordance with connectivity to those core values then versus now and ongoing to create, bring those values out of the handbook and into action.
Awesome. Thank you, Galena. Appreciate that. And that is company values with hashtags. And like I said, core values hashtags are available on all of our Elevate subscription plans. We've included some documentation for setting those up in the chat as well. And moving on, I did promise some new posting and board features, and we are ready to deliver. I'd like to pass the mic over to Amy to run us through those options that are now live for both individual one-off boards and subscriptions as well. So take it away, Amy.
Yes, thank you, Ty. Hello, everybody. My turn. So really excited to talk about these new features. I'll list them off for you before I go into the product and show you where you can find those, what they look like, how to access them when adding to a board. So the first feature we have here that has been highly asked for quite a while now, and we finally have it, we've released it, you can use it now, is private post. Expressing yourself without the anxiety. Now, this feature specifically is only available on the Elevate by Kudoboard subscriptions, but some of you are already on those subscriptions. So when I do showcase that one, feel free to follow along. And these are also be found on, sorry, Ty, the private posts can also be found on upgraded milestone boards and full memorial boards as well. For audio post is our second feature. Again, this was another highly requested feature by customers just like you. So we listened and here it is. So this appreciation you can hear for added authenticity. This one is available on all boards regardless of subscription status. Finally, and the one that the Kudoboard team really, really loves is this new animated backgrounds. So we only have a handful of these right now. These are available on all boards as well, but our designers and our engineering team are working on adding to these every once in a while. So we will have more come in and you'll see those at the top in the background section under new as they do come in. So I will share my screen now so we can jump into the product and let me get the right tab. All right, everybody see Stefan's board for retirement? Awesome. All right, so first thing I want to pose a question here. How many of you have been invited to add to a Kudoboard? And you start writing your message and it's this really long, heartfelt message, but then all of a sudden you get a little bit of an anxiety because everybody else will be reading your words. And maybe you're like me and you don't even like it when people look over your shoulder while you're typing. So the thought of everybody reading your post, it just kind of fills you with a bit of dread. I get it. Maybe put the little monkey with the hands covering his eyes in the chat if that's been you. So for this reason, we've released something called private post. This allows you the ability to choose whether your post is private, meaning that it will be visible to you, the board creator, and the recipient only, or public, where everybody can see it, as you've probably experienced on previous boards that you've added to. Now, this is a setting that has to be enabled by the board creator. So the board creator is kind of the big overlord decision on this one. But to find this setting, you'll go to your settings panel here on the board. We're going to scroll all the way down to extras. And now I've already toggled it on, but it's right here, private post. And you can toggle this off or on at any time. So if this is toggled on and I'm a contributor and I go to add to the board, so let's add a nice message for Stefan here. And we'll type him a little message and we're retiring. So let's find a GIF of a nice beach. This one looks pretty funny. All right, so we have our message and we're thinking, I'd rather this be private. So you'll click this eye icon and you can switch that right on over to private. And now the eye has a cross through it. Your post is private. Go ahead and click post. And now any post on the board that is private, if you're the creator of the post or board or the recipient, you'll see there's just this banner indicating that the contributor marked it as private, but you can still see it. And if we scroll down to the very bottom, we'll see ours has that private post banner. But now I want to log out and show you what that looks like if you're just another contributor coming to the board, so you won't have access to see these posts. So I'll log out of my account and we're going to view the board just as another person who received an invite. You'll see that these private posts are now blocked, and it tells me why. So I understand why I can't see those posts, and any of them that have been marked private will be blocked, including that one we just added. So I will take a moment to sign back in here. And that is our private post feature. That is the gist of it. One more thing I do want to show is that as the creator, you do have the ability, apologies, I just logged into the wrong thing. You do have the ability to override the private or public setting that anybody chooses for their board. So let me just get back to Stefan's board here. In order to override what somebody else has chosen when they've contributed, you'll click these three dots in the lower left-hand corner, and you'll notice that you can click Make Public. And if it already is public, you can choose to make it private. So the board creator does have the ultimate decision on this, but if they've enabled the setting, most likely they'll let you choose. That wraps up our private post feature. If you have any questions about this, feel free to put them in the QA or hold on to them until the end of the webinar and we can answer them there as well, or send an email to help@kudoboard.com. So now I'd like to introduce our audio post feature to you. Another question here. How many of you maybe you wrote a poem for a recipient, or you have a song you wanted to record, or maybe you just felt that your words would be more authentic if you spoke them instead of typing them out? But when you went to go do so, you realized that you had to have video included, and maybe you didn't have the time to put the video with the audio, or you're just a little bit camera shy. So we fixed that issue as well. So now when you go to add to a board, if you'd like to just upload an audio clip that's already on your device or record one in post, you can do so under Other Media. And we have this audio option here. You can record or upload. Most of you already know how to upload something saved to your device, but you'll just click upload, then browse, and you'll be able to choose. Now, if we go to record, this is very simple. You can record right in post by just simply clicking start recording. And you use your device's microphone or whatever headphones you have plugged in, use that microphone to record your message. When you're done, just click the button again. You can play it back to make sure that you like your message. And if for any reason you want to give it another go, you can by clicking this trash can icon that will erase everything for you, and you can start recording again. Just be careful with that button. Once you click it, the audio that you've recorded is gone and you will need to re-record. Now, when you post this on the board, and you may have seen a couple of these sprinkled in while I was viewing the board before, this is what those will look like. So we have this little audio graphic, and you can click play to listen to these, and then you can refresh them from the beginning. So this is really nice, like I said, if you just want to include that audio, but you don't want to include the video component, now you have that option. That's our audio post feature. If, again, you have any questions, put them in the QA, send an email to help@kudoboard.com. We're happy to answer them. The last thing I'd like to show everybody is our animated backgrounds. And I personally love these. I think they're so fun. I think they yell Kudoboard, basically. So how you will add an animated background to your board, if you don't already have one on your board, is we'll go to the appearance section. And you'll notice we have this background area now. So you'll click change. As I mentioned earlier, as we add these animated backgrounds, you'll see them under this new tab. This is what I was referencing, and they're tagged as animated. But let me find the farewell section because this is a retirement farewell type of board. I'm going to click show more to see the rest of the options. And you'll see again that any ones that are animated are tagged as such. If you want to preview them before just adding them to the board so you know what they look like, you can click this play button here. And let's take a look at this one. And we'll actually give you a nice little preview screen, full screen, so you can see what it looks like when the recipient receives the board and opens their Kudoboard. And you click exit preview at any time to get out of that. It will take you right back to where you were. Now, if you like one, you want to add it, just click anywhere on that box. So I personally like this one a lot. And now, as long as your intro animation is enabled, which it typically is for most boards that are created, And you can check that again in the appearance section, intro animation, that's on, great. So if that's on, when the recipient receives the board, they'll get this cute little animation and animated video, animated background to go with it. And then click View Kudoboard. Everybody loves confetti. I had that enabled too. Again, you can find that in the appearance section. But that is our animated backgrounds, and we're super excited to see what else our design team and our engineering team comes up with for those in the future. So look out for more.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Amy. Yeah, I know we're all really pumped to put these new posting options to the test kind of internally, and we're excited to see how our users will use them as well. Just want to make a quick call out too. We're a little over time here, so I want to apologize for that. If you have to jump, this meeting will be recorded and we'll send it out afterwards, but we'd love to keep you as well here. If you can stay until 11:30, we'll keep going on through. We're almost towards the finish here. So some of you, or many of you here, are on the subscription plan, right? And enjoying the new unlimited boards and the posts and all the new features. Some of you are still buying one-off Kudoboards for every internal need, and that's great. Some of you have the Pro and Enterprise plan and are probably already setting up some of the new features that are only available on those plans, which is a total score for you. But if you're on the fence about getting a subscription or upgrading your plan, or you need a little data to take back to leadership, I have a little bit for you here as well. Companies with the highest employee retention rates often spend 1% of their total payroll recognizing employees. I think that's a really important data point that comes directly from a SHRM study. We were at the SHRM conference. Maybe some of you here saw us as well. Feel free to call it out in the chat if you got to meet Ron and team. Also, 91% of employees believe that most companies undervalue the effects of employee gratitude, underestimating how much it means to be appreciated. But here's some exciting news as well. If you want a business or a pro subscription, you can actually sign up for one or update your existing plan without a demo or a sales call required. You can upgrade your subscription just from a link that will drop right in the chat as well. But if you want to see one of these plans in action as well, or get like a custom subscription for your enterprise, you can also get a demo from a real human as well. So we'll include a link to that in the chat as well. Just want to make a quick call out here too. If you have any questions, if you need some support, if we didn't answer your QA question as well, there's a boatload of them in the chat we're still trying to get to right now, or in the QA section that we're trying to get to right now. I'd love to make a call out here for some of our help options. Here are some links to our support site, the help desk, the success team, as well as our blog and some of our other Kudoboard resources as well. I would also be remiss if I didn't remind you of a few upcoming holidays deserving of recognition. We have National Intern Day coming up, so be ready to celebrate your junior staff before they head back to college. There's also National Sysadmin Day, or System Administrator Day, for you all to shout out your amazing IT professionals that keep things running smoothly. Also, August is National Wellness Month. Perhaps use Kudoboard to support some kind of event or initiative for the occasion internally. And also don't forget, of course, about your own team's new hires for Q3, promotions, shout outs, farewells, and more. So finally, that's a lot to cover. Moving into the QA, how are we feeling, team? Are we ready to go? We've got about 7 minutes here remaining in the session. We'll take some time to answer some of your questions. If we haven't addressed it, feel free to redrop it back in there in chat and surface it again. There will be a recorded link available after as well. So we have our product experts here. So again, feel free to write out those questions in QA. Click send and we will get some of those answered.
Yeah, one question that I just saw as I was scrolling through that I'd like to answer is on the private post, how we handle that when printing. Private posts will not be printed, so they will not be included in the print, because if a contributor marked that as private, we assume they don't want to see it, and that includes for the print as well.
Great call. Another question that I saw earlier was, why are automations just for birthdays and work anniversaries? And if there's any thoughts about expanding that. I don't know, Julio, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, certainly. Right now, we just have it for those just because, it's such a common use case. And we see admins all the time creating year over year for this specific occasion. So currently we just tackled that, but I could certainly see it being utilized for other things, perhaps like welcome boards, things like that. But right now, just because it's always set in stone, someone's birthday and their hire date, we currently just have it for those two options.
Cool, thank you. Another one I see, what are some other features in progress for the subscription? I think a big call out is we're constantly adding more integrations in there. So HRIS integrations, single sign-on integrations as well. We already have Slack and Teams integrations too. You can find more details about that on our integrations page on our website. Or feel free to reach out as well if you'd like to know about a specific integration to some software that your team uses. Also, feel free to use this time to drop some other items, what you would like to see from Kudoboard in the chat. If you have any ideas that you think we could use to improve the platform, feel free to drop those in QA.
Yeah, another good question here. Someone was asking, is there somewhere where they can view examples of how organizations have used Kudoboard in a unique way, outside of the birthday, anniversary, that type of thing? And yes, we do have some board inspiration sections, so I will throw that in the chat now. So you can see the 3 different types of boards, and then we have links to some inspiration for those types of boards as well.
Another call out that I saw as well is there's been a lot of folks asking about cheat sheets for staff. I think that's an amazing call out as well about kind of one-pagers on using some of these new posting features. So I think we'll try to add those into the roadmap and get those out and communicated to folks as we produce them. I think that's a spectacular idea.
And an additional piece to that, we do have a robust support center. I know some of us are sometimes sheepish to go to the support center because they're all muddy and stuff, but I would say that ours is pretty handy. We keep things simple and straightforward. So direct you there, always get in touch with our support team. We are happy to help.
Great call out, Galena. Great call out for sure. Thank you. Just another minute or so, if there's any other final QA questions to throw here in the QA for us to answer.
Question about Slack and Teams. Yes, we do have a Slack and Teams integration, but it is only available on the Pro and Enterprise plans. So if you're on a business plan, you unfortunately won't see that option, but we encourage you to take a look at the Pro plan, see if that might be something you're interested in.
Mm-hmm. Seeing some people considering upgrading as well. Again, feel free to reach out to us too. You can reach out to sales@kudoboard.com or reach out to our support staff and we can talk about what your existing plan looks like and then moving you into a tier where you can access some of these more premium features. All right.
I know we're running short on time. I just want to mention, address something here. Someone asked about challenges and fun ways to engage teams. Just want to quickly mention that, of course, depending on where you are, we're in the midst of summer here. So summer can kind of be, a little bit less. People are maybe a little bit more distant during the summertime. Something that we see pull teams back together during this time are summer photo contests. So that might be an idea for you to run. That's also really engaging and kind of leans into what summer is, adventure.
Awesome. And one last thing to maybe Julio or Glenn, you could quickly touch on this, HRIS integration. That is something that we've recently done as well, but Julio and Glenn, you'll have more information on that than I do.
Yes, that is something that we do. If you'd like to talk more about how to set that up, I'm going to throw that success@kudoboard.com email at you again. We'd be happy to have the discussion about what that would look like.
Yep. And seeing a lot of love again, too, about the Slack and Teams integrations and potentially an opportunity for a future webinar as well. So keep your eyes peeled for some more communication on future webinars as well. So moving on here with our last 2 minutes, we'd love to pick our 3 lucky attendees here at random. If you are still one of the many who are still here with us as we go over time, Amy, would you like to pick those at random for me, please?
I would love to, Ty, and apologies in advance for messing up anybody's name. I'm so sorry right now. All right. So our first winner will be Erica. I'm going to say Zamudio is how we spell that. And if somebody could, actually, I could probably jot these down really quick. Hold on one moment. I just want to make sure I keep everybody that I pick. So let's see, Erica. All right, and winner number 2 is, let's see, we're gonna grab Geraldine Baker. You're lucky winner number 2. And let's give some love to the end of the alphabet here. Lucky winner number 3 will be, let's let's see. We're gonna do Wayne Bond. You're lucky winner number 3.
Awesome. So keep an eye out for those gift cards coming from Amy at Kudoboard, or support at Kudoboard more likely.
Yeah, I'll send you each a nice personalized Kudoboard with your gift card attached, so that way you can check out our gifting feature if you haven't already. They're tremendous.
Love it. Well, thank you all. And that is it from us. Thank you for attending and getting to know these exciting features. If you'd like to learn more about our subscriptions, please check out our pricing page or reach out to our sales team. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our success or our support staff. Again, we appreciate you as you bear with us as we run a little long, but this is recorded. We will send it back out to you afterwards. And thank you so much. Bye-bye all.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks.